The son of Hamas leader shows up and he's going to give you guys a warning. And if you choose not to listen to this, this is for you guys out there claiming that Palestine and that we all need to be voting for Palestine. We need to be holding these flags up and waving them. Socialism is the key, right?
Welcome back. As the noise settles and reality sets in, our next guest has a warning for New York and the country about Zohran Mamdani. He calls Mamdani a Trojan horse for the Red-Green Alliance. We first introduced you to this alliance months ago on this show. It's two groups you'd think have very different philosophies, but they're united in their distaste for the West. The red is Marxism. The green is Islamism. The Middle East Forum describes it as, quote, an alliance of convenience between leftists, including progressives, socialists, and communists on the one hand, and on the other hand, Islamists, Muslims who actively pursue the political goals of Islam, such as Islamic supremacism, and the punishment of those non-compliant with Islam. They went on to say, what commonalities bring these two disparate collectives together? Both leftists and Islamists hate Western countries and Western civilization, especially the United States of America. Joining me now, the son of the founding Hamas leader, Mossab Hassan Youssef. Mossab, thank you for being with us here today. First, let's just start with this. With your background and your knowledge, the Red-Green Alliance, it doesn't make any sense. How could a socialist furry marching down the streets of New York have something in common with, perhaps, Hamas? So how does it work? Is it real?
Actually, they are opposing forces, and the reality is that we have been invaded. Today, we don't need Trojan horses to invade or to infiltrate our borders. We have been invaded through the internet.
And I keep saying it, when you saw that guy in New Orleans and he crashed a car, ran right through the crowd, and then they went back and tried to figure out what was going on with this guy, they determined that he had already been flipped by extremists over the internet. So he's 100% right. When you tack on also the fact that people are waving flags that are of Palestine, Pakistan, waving these Palestinian flags in the street in LA, you can't help but wonder what is going on. How is it that the Palestinian movement and the LGBTQ movement, and then you talk about socialists and Marxists, how do they come together? The hate of the United States. And the problem is we don't see it because we're so blinded by our personal issues. And then they get in there and they pay these guys to get out and to do the protesting. And it makes it seem like, oh my gosh, this is the right thing. You guys are suffering. Remember I said in the 60s and the 70s, they did the same thing. They just went into the Black Panther Party. They just went into King's movement. They went into every movement that had to do with civil rights, and they established themselves at that time. They found that as being a weakness for the United States of America, and they said, we need to help the people. And that's where they started. That's when they started rooting in our country. That's when.
The communist countries, North Korea, China, Russia, they have been working around the clock to flood our internet, our social media with their propaganda. So they paved the way. They created the climate for somebody like Mamdani to come and represent their ideologies. On the other hand, also we have Qatar, we have Arab oil countries, we have Pakistan, we have other Muslim countries that basically posing as white people, as Americans, and they have been spreading Islamic indoctrination through the Muslim Brotherhood, through other platforms. Now, the average American really does not understand the green and red danger. This is the job of the CIA, of the FBI, intelligence services. They understand this danger. Now, the new generation of Americans, they really don't know the history, the long war between capitalism, or let's say the United States, the West, against communism and the real danger of such a model. Now, these two models, the Islamic and communist models, they're anti-American at their core. And they want to push America in the backseat. And they want to change the world order. This is what they are aiming to do. Now, the new generation.
So, if you think about it, it makes sense. It makes sense now. It makes sense. The thing they dealt with in the 70s and the 60s were secret communists. And that's why the CIA had a lot of moving to do. And granted, I'm not here advocating painting the CIA to be a perfect entity. But one thing is true. At its core, it's been protecting our country from adversaries outside of our country and those who have infiltrated our country. Because we have a wide open freedom of speech, freedom of all these freedoms and liberties, the freedom that we have is also being used to enslave and to indoctrinate us. So when somebody's sitting back and they're crying about rich people and they're ignoring the opportunities that are made in this shifting, chaotic government, shifting, chaotic time, I sit back and I say, wow, we have learned through history, financial history, economics, that money's not made when things are great. Money is made when things are chaotic and they're upside down. So when I see chaos, I say, where's the money? Where is it going? How do I follow it? What's new? How can we get into that? How can we get into that? Because there is an opportunity there. And I truly believe during this time, man, Christians, people who are believers, people who actually have a relationship with God, I believe God is telling them what to do. And if you don't have one, I take the time and get one so you can get ahead of this curve. And you say, Leon, how is that going to help? I'm going to tell you, you first start with your private time and building that relationship, and you'll see how that's going to help. You'll see how it's going to move, okay? But this is the root cause of what's coming. This is it. Nowhere in the scripture does it mention United States in the book of Revelation. And I'm going to jump over to this. Guys, listen, go to my other channel, The Real Leon Duncan. I get more deeper into that stuff, okay? More deeper into it. Because at the end of the day, this, like I said, the United States was never mentioned in the book of Revelation. And if you see it, please let me know. Leave a comment. I'll be happy to look at it. But when the son of Hamas's leader, one of the organizers, co-founders for Hamas, gets up here and tells you that you guys are being conned, and he's crazy. They say he's crazy. He's a fool. Nah, I know what my mom and dad is doing. I know if my mom is up to something. I know how her friends are moving, and I know the intricacies of how they're moving. So you can take it as being a learning lesson or not, is up to you. But chaos is made, money's made, the bag is made when when things like this take place. So you need to keep up on it, guys. You need to keep up on it. You need to know what's taking place, and if you don't, that's your problem. But at the end of the day, I am trying to get to the bag, and you can decide if you want to or not. And I'm only going to tell you, I'm not going to force it on anybody. Who's going to do that? Shit, you're going to do what you want. This is the opportunity for me to share with you guys what I know and what I see. Now, before I even leave out, I want to call attention to Legacy Peak Capital, the DSCR loan that's available with Legacy Peak Capital. Why? Because they're one of my sponsors. These DSCR loans help you build your portfolio. It's not based on your credit score, no income verification, based on the property cash flow, 0 points to get into the loan, which is crazy, okay? Quick closing, and when you close with a DSCR loan, because I've got clients that do the same thing, they close with a DSCR loan, and now they're instantly getting that property into an LLC, into a corporation. And now when somebody comes in and they rent the place, it's showing that LLC making cash flow. So now you've got a profit and loss statement, okay, based on that rent roll. And then you can scale. You can scale because of these DSCR loans, multiple in the pocket. Go to, what is that? LegacyPeakFunding.com, LegacyPeakFunding.com.